Hey everybody, it's Lynn from A Bit of Birdsong. I'm here to share with you a new journal. I love this journal. I love the way it's turning out. I know that I mentioned having some file folders recently, and I did make some paper kits, paper packs that have been listed in the shop. Several of those have sold that included a couple of these types of file pages. So I want to show you, I have a box with more of these. They're really fun to work with. They've got these metal labels. Some are flat, some are bent a little, as you can see, like this one. And they're so much fun to work with. If you're interested in some of these, please let me know. You can leave a comment here. You can email me at a bit of birdsong at gmail.com, and I also have a blog that I've kept for years. It's called amothersjournal.com. That might be a good thing to know in case my YouTube channel goes away for whatever reason, or it's nice to know where you can find people. Anyway, I will have all the links. So I knew that I wanted to do December daily. I also knew that I wanted to make another Boho Birds journal. I've stayed away from that for a little while, and it is time to make another one. It did cross my mind to do a very red journal with a lot of snow and make it Christmas or whatever, but I have been so in love with grunge and just antique fabrics, especially whites and creams. I decided to go with a more grungy Boho Birds December journal. So the front and the back are made from file folders, as you can see, and I just took a strip of fabric, glued it to each one once I had traced the shape and pasted this beautiful paper onto the fronts. This is from a digital kit from Lindsey Zenor at Nevermore Creations 17 on Etsy. I will leave her link below. On the spine there is a pretty vintage button that I found recently, and I just sewed that right onto the fabric. There is not a heavy spine. I used only fabric because I wanted to sew in each set of pages with my sewing machine and make it where the book lays more flat, and I wanted this to be kind of pliable. So let's open the journal and see. I didn't even change this. This says no tear or no tear. I'm not sure what that means, but I left it. I love that faded color. Then once we get inside, this is my December 1st page. Some of the days I will just do one page, and some of the days are going to require a spread because this has a little more than 30 pages. In the front, you will see more of this beautiful paper that's from Lindsey's kit. I love this. This kit is absolutely beautiful. There are several pages, so I printed out 4 to do the front and the backs of each of the front and the back. So that took 4 pages. This pocket came from a vintage flashcard that I sewed onto some antique, this was an antique placemat. And look at this beautiful stitch that my sewing machine did. I love the way this turned out. I just wanted this journal to feel grungy, have a lot of layering. I wanted it to feel like a nature notebook, like an explorer's notebook for December. This bird here, is this not absolutely gorgeous? This came from a vintage calendar that I have in my collection. I think it's from 1957. And this bird is called the common redpoll. I had never heard of that. I sewed this part onto a little flashcard that has the deer mouse on it, and that's a flashcard that was in that set of vintage cards that I have. So there's that, and I love this. I found a greeting card recently that I believe was probably handmade. It had this beautiful print on it, and the color, everything is perfect. So I scanned it so that I can use it again, since this is the only one that I have. And so put that there and that in there. Oh, let me show you this little portion here. I printed out a page from a different kit of Lindsey's, and it is called Antique Aviary. And I painted over that with white acrylic paint. This charm in the center came from a journal that I took apart a while back. This is a little tiny seed pod. It looks like a green bean, or not green bean, but the peas, the garden peas. It looks like a pod of those, but you know, there are also some different, what are they called? They're very weedy. I used to have them in my flower garden. They have pretty flowers, but then they leave a lot of pods that look like this as well. And I put a piece of sari silk on this page, just beautiful. I want every page to be full of things that I love. I sewed this, or just tacked it down to the fabric on the page. This is a little flip page. This is one of the pages from Lindsey's kit, Antique Aviary. Is that not just breathtakingly beautiful? I love the text. I love the collage aspect and these beautiful birds. I've done some stamping with white paint mixed with my distress ink. And you can see where this page was sewed to the fabric. I'm going to show you how this book was done, the structure of it. So you can just see there's a lot of layering. This is it's an artist trading card that I came across recently. And you know what? I know one thing I wanted to do. I'm going to, you know how I am. Let's do it now. And in fact, it'll be nice if I do this now, because I can show you one of the things I did. I don't want this yellow tape showing. That's washi tape, and I love the color of it, but not in this. So I just took some white acrylic paint. Look, doesn't that totally change the looks? Just painted over that. So this artist trading card, I found it at the Scrap Exchange. Who is this by? This is called Art of Flying. Nancy J. Leimer, Leimer. This was done in 2009. I love the artist trading cards that show up there. This says the art of flying is to throw yourself at the ground and miss. Isn't that wonderful? So getting in here, here's my entry for December 1st. You could see I covered up those other bits of tape. I'm not sure how I missed this one. And I may end up needing to put some glue on that. I don't know. December 1st, 2018. I spent a beautiful day at work. My job is absolutely a dream job. Life has changed over and over again. Shedding old skin, grown children, reconnecting with old friends, and visiting difficult memories from a new and faraway perspective, like a bird in a high tree with new feathers. So that is December 1st, the first day of my December daily. Now I want to show you how this journal is constructed. Every page is, well, I don't know if you, I guess there are 2 pages make each signature, and I just sewed them to a strip of fabric. So I ended up with 2 sheets of paper, and there's of course a beautiful stitch on each side. Some of them got covered up because I wanted to add more elements of fabric. Once I had the pages sewn to the fabric, I took another sheet of fabric or piece of fabric that was the size I wanted the spine to be, with a little bit of extra. And every time I had a set of pages sewn together on a strip of fabric, I took my strip of fabric over to the sewing machine and my set of pages, and I sewed the set of pages to the piece of fabric. I need to do a tutorial so you can see from start to finish. So every set of pages is sewn to a strip of fabric, one after the other. Was it tedious to get those under the needle and do that? A little bit, but really not too much. So I have this beautiful book that is fairly flat laying to work in. Most of the paper is handmade, or it's ledger paper, or art paper that's going to be heavy enough to take a wash of distress ink, or it is my hand-dyed paper. This page has been hand-dyed. I'm probably going to, or tea-stained I should say, I'm probably going to collage over this, at least most of it, but I did want to use pages that had some sturdiness and some tea staining. Like this outer edge is beautiful. I love the gold thread in here. This is a page from an almanac, and pull this apart. It looks like the glue is trying to. So you can kind of see this is a set of pages that was sewn in, and you can see how that is laying against that piece of fabric. It's not perfect, like what you're seeing right now. This trim turned up a little bit, and it's wanting to stick to the glue that I used to glue this down, which I figured would happen because this piece of lace has got a lot of holes in it. I love this. This was a vintage art print that I came across. So I cut it down the center, cut a tiny little strip out so that I wouldn't lose the, the actual shape of the hair, the rabbit. And then I've already glued in this very old and very dirty. This was a children's library book, so got a lot of handprints and a lot of love. It says Curtis, our state birds. And then we have the back. Anyway, this is my December daily. This is the first entry, December 1st. So I will be back with my December 2nd entry very soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.